In this video, we will be creating this glow-in-the-dark Rumi cake. So let's get into it. Hey, it's your girl Ronique back again with another video. I've gotten a lot of requests from a lot of people asking me, how did I do this thing? Finally, the video is here. So first things first, we're gonna start off with our structure. I do have a video on how I created this structure, so I will link that video to this video. Right now, all I'm doing is I'm building the body because this is going to be a content cake that I'm going to repurpose. So I'm just building the body out of Rice Krispie treats. This was made from scratch using Rice Krispie cereal and melted marshmallows. Just in case you're wondering why I added the melted marshmallows to the structure, in order for the Rice Krispies to stick to the structure, we need something like glue. So in this case, the glue will be the melted marshmallows. But right now, my hands are clean and I'm using cold water on my hands in order to press the Rice Krispies together and build the bust of this cake. Because if I don't use the cold water, then the melted marshmallows would literally be sticking to everything. So that's my little trick. It's hard to do that with gloves because gloves basically stick more. I don't know, but that's just my experience. Here, I'm just playing with the Rice Krispies, just making it come to shape. I also have a photo of Rumi for reference. You know, I always have my reference photo close. So all I did was just build the body as close as I can to her, using the reference, keep eyeing it, and then pressing in the Rice Krispie treats to make it as firm as possible. And once I'm happy with it, then it's time to add my chocolate ganache. And by now, if you're a true OG subscriber, you know that I use only dark chocolate ganache on all of my structured cakes. So I'm going to give you the ratio in this video because the last time I think I gave you my ratio for my dark chocolate ganache was, I think, Lilo and Stitch. So for the dark chocolate ganache, the ratio is 1:2. So basically you will measure out 200 grams of chocolate versus 100 grams of whipping cream. But for any structured cakes, I normally take away a little bit of the whipping cream. So for example, if I'm using 200 grams of chocolate, I will use about 60 milliliters of whipping cream. So once the chocolate dries, it's nice and firm. If you don't know by now, I use a scale to measure everything for my cakes for every ingredient. So basically 1 gram equals 1 milliliter. Milliliters are mainly for liquids and grams are mainly for solids. But I mean, 1 gram is 1 milliliter. So basically the same thing. As you can see, I'm adding a thin layer of chocolate ganache to my bust. I'm just going to leave it like this for a moment, and then once I add my cakes to my structure, then I will smooth the entire thing out at the same time. Here comes the easy part. I'm just stacking the cakes. The cakes are frozen at the moment. Like I said in all of my previous videos, it's best to work with a frozen cake over anything when it comes to structured cakes. So for the cakes, each one of them are 4 inches in diameter. And then I'm just stacking 3 on top of each other, filling it with chocolate ganache, and then I will cover the entire head with dark chocolate ganache. Once I'm happy with the shape of everything, I will smoothen the chocolate ganache and then move on to her details. This is just a simple application of chocolate ganache to the cake. There's nothing complicated or crazy about this part. And then you're gonna see me go around my table. I wanted to put it on my turntable, but then I'm like, okay, it's gonna be out of camera. So I'm just gonna look like a fool walking around this table like I ain't get no sense. As you can see, I'm making sure my chocolate ganache is nice and smooth. Now for this part, I take off my gloves, obviously wash my hands, and then add cold water to my hands. I kind of learned this from watching this guy on YouTube. I can't remember his name or his channel, but he makes structures of clay and he's like a beast. So I've just been watching him, and the way that he smoothing the clay is basically the same thing with Marlin chocolate. So I'm just watching his videos and applying his methods to my cakes. Also, a new method that I learned from this Asian creator. She does this with buttercream, and I've come across her page a few times on Instagram, but listen, I can't understand Chinese writing, so I can't tell you her name either. But she does this thing where she has like a photo at the back, and then she has like a parchment paper, and then she maps out the face using buttercream on top of it. And I was like, I wonder if I could do that out of modeling chocolate. So for this cake, I was like, maybe I should try it. And yep, that's what I'm doing right now. So for trying this method for the first time, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. I love that YouTuber. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anywho's, yeah, this method was so easy. It cut down the time drastically, and I think I pretty much achieved her looks in this. It was so easy. It's basically just adding modeling chocolate on top of each other, shaping it to her face, and making sure everything is smooth. And after that, that's pretty much it. This right here is the reason why I love using modeling chocolate, because look how seamless the blend is. In the meantime, between time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel because I do have a lot of videos on the way for you guys. Finally, I am finishing up with the face. So next we will be adding the face to the structure and you will see what's about to happen. In 3, 2, 1. So right here, I'm basically realizing that the head on my cake does not match the face that I just made. So I'm just going to use the face, map out on the cake what I need to cut off, and then I'm just going to carve the jawline, and yep, that's about it. So I just had to make sure I covered the body with plastic wrap because I don't need any droppings on my perfectly shaped bust. Right now I'm using a knife just to trim out the jaw lines, and then I will cover it with chocolate ganache and modeling chocolate. I know you're over there wondering, hey, where did this maroon color modeling chocolate come from onto the cake? Yes, I did off camera. I noticed that Rumi has more broader shoulders. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna add any more Rice Krispies to this cake and no more chocolate to this cake. So I had some extra modeling chocolate that are a bunch of different colors. So I just added them together and then I filled in her shoulders and her boobs. She doesn't really have a lot of boobs, but I needed her to look more girly than boyish. So I just added everything in. After that, then I colored some white modeling chocolate, her skin tone color. It's kind of hard to nail skin tones for me. I don't know if it's hard for you guys, but I normally go to Color Mill when it comes to finding skin tone colors because they have colors like sand, caramel, latte, peach, pink. They have latte, they have brown, caramel. I think I said that already, but yeah, that's normally the colors that I go to when I have to make a skin tone color. So once I got the perfect color, I'm just covering her entire body with modeling chocolate and making sure everything is smooth, and then we will move to the hard part, which is her face. FYI, the colors that I use for Rumi is caramel. I use a little bit of pink, a little bit of peach, a little bit of sand. I was literally adding as I go and looking at the photos. So all I can say is add a little at a time, because if you add too much, you can't take it back. So that's just my little pointer. Next, I added the modeling chocolate face to the cake, and now I'm just working on her lips. Me and lips, not a fans of each other, but I try my best. Now that I'm pretty much happy with her face, I'm trying to add her ears, looking at the photo for reference, making sure they're in the right place, making sure they're the right size, right shape. Oh, it's a lot when it comes to making these characters. The public is so familiar with the character, you don't want to mess it up, because then they'll be like, oh, that's Rumi from, what do they say? That's Rumi from Wish. Like, what? Who says those kinds of stuff? But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out her ears, make sure they're proportional to her face, and then we will be moving on to the rest of her body. Even if you're a cake artist or a mom or dad, a grandmother, grandfather, auntie, uncle, whatever it is, what cake would you love to make to challenge yourself that you're afraid of? Comment below and let me know. I would say it would be the cake that I'm actually working on right now. I've been procrastinating for weeks now, but I'm getting there. You will see what cake I'm working on in a bit, and I hope you guys love it. And we're back to the cake. I had to add the white part of her eyes and then the pupils to her eyes off camera because my battery died. So I apologize, but all I did was just shape the eye to match the reference photo, and then I just added it to the cake. And then the eyes are edible images, so all I did was I printed it on actual edible paper, and then I just stick it to the cake. I don't have time to be trying to figure out the colors of these eyes. I can't do it. I feel like eyes make a difference. So once I was happy with her eyes and how they're looking, I'm just doing like what makes Rumi, adding her purple hair. This is my daughter's favorite part. Her hair is also made out of modern chocolate, obviously. So all I did was I took long strips and added it onto each other so it looks like different layers of her hair, because even though her hair is up in like the big long ponytail, she has like separate layers on the sides. So once I got that in, and then I wanted this to be the portion where she was actually turning into a demon. So her hair was like all messy, and then she had one eye that was demon and one eye that was regular. So I just wanted it to be to that point, not where she was like full human or like almost a demon. But yeah, we was like, I wanted it to be in the middle. So once I was happy with that, I added her eyebrows, and then I'm now using black color mill to draw her eyeliner. I don't know about you guys, but I love me a good eyeliner. So I took my time, steady hand, okay? After I got done with her eyeliner, I added some edible eyelashes made out of Marlin chocolate. And then on the brush, I have a little bit of pink petal dust. So I'm just dusting it onto her cheeks just to give her that rosy look. And now I'm adding the pink to her lips because she does have like this dark pinky reddy lip going on in the movie, so I got it as close as I could. Like I said, me and lips are not friends, so don't judge me. Once I was done, I'm pretty happy with how her face is looking. I'm just going to add her accessories. If you look at Rumi in the movie, she has a lot of earrings. Like I didn't even notice it until I started working on this cake. So I'm just adding in her earrings made out of Marlin chocolate, and then I will paint them with edible gold luster dust. Next, I'm painting her demon markings with this edible glow-in-the-dark paint. It is very, very, very fun using this thing. So I bought two of them for this cake. I bought the pink and the purple, and then I mixed them together. But I would say before you decide to use these things, well, before you decide to light them up in the dark, I would say to charge it up a little bit with like a flashlight, because it didn't really work at the beginning, but then when I charged it up with a flashlight, it just happened to just glow in the dark much brighter. I don't know if that's a thing, but it happened. So yeah, I'm just looking at my reference photo and I'm just drawing on the markings. It's a slow and steady process. I wanted I would say, what do these things look like? They look like lightning bolts. I wanted them to look sharp and not rounded, or, you know, how they looked on her in the movie. So I took my time with this. Do I really have to show you every lightning bolt that I painted? I don't think so. So let's move on to adding her shirt. In order to make her shirt, I rolled out some extra white Marlin chocolate, and then as you can see, I'm adding it to her chest area, and then I will use my X-Acto knife to shape her shirt to match the reference photo. And then once that's done, I added her little tassel for her button at the front, and right now you can see that I'm painting the gold strip that goes alongside the edges of her shirt. The devil is in the details, okay? We're not missing any details when it comes to this cake. Once I was done with her shirt, I noticed that this little area on her shoulder looks a little bit empty. So I'm like, let me just add one more little lightning bolt in there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think this cake is pretty much done. I'm happy with it. I hope this video helps you, because I know a lot of people were like, hey, my daughter saw your cake and she wants your cake for her birthday, but we live on the next side of the world. So do you have like a video that could help me to make this cake? So I really hope this video is beneficial to you in your cake making journey. And here is when I start to take the lights out, and oh baby, the color is glowing. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and please continue to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, because I would love to hit at least 10K by February. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye, and see you in the next video.